My dear son, I understand the pain you have carried silently for so long. I know the tiredness that runs deep within you, fatigue that goes beyond what your body feels, a tiredness that no amount of rest or sleep can fix. I see it in the quiet moments when everything around you fades away, when the noise of life disappears, and you are left alone with your thoughts. In those moments, I am closer to you than you realize. I hear every sigh you hold back, even those you never speak in prayer. I feel every tear that falls in the darkness, tears no one else sees. But they are precious to me because they come from a heart that continues to hope, even in the midst of pain and doubt. This moment is not just an ordinary time, it is a sacred pause that I have created just for you. A moment with a purpose, one that could not come earlier because you were not ready, and things had to align in ways you couldn't see. But now, my beloved, this is your time. It is time to listen, to open your heart, because something new is beginning, something that will mark the start of a new chapter in your life. Do not fear, do not think that you have failed in a way that cannot be fixed. I do not come to judge you, but to speak the truth that will set you free. I am here to break the invisible chains that have held you down, the chains formed by past pain, betrayal, and doubt. I speak to you now because I want you to know that you are not alone. You never have been. Even on the days when you thought I had forgotten you, I was working quietly, where you couldn't see. I was the one who helped you hold your mind together when everything felt hopeless. I was the one who kept your heart from losing its light completely. I tell you now, get ready, because what I am about to share will bring clarity to your thoughts and a peace that the world cannot offer or take away. This peace doesn't depend on anything changing around you. It comes from knowing that I am with you, that I go ahead of you, and that every step you take has been planned for you since before time began. When I called you by your name, I did not do so by accident. Every part of your name has a meaning, an identity I created before you were born. When I called you, I spoke a word over your life that no enemy can undo. Understand, my beloved, that what seemed like a time of waiting was actually a time of spiritual growth. Something great is being born, and even though you cannot fully see it yet, it has already begun. I have been moving things around, removing obstacles even when you couldn't understand why. Some losses were necessary, and some closed doors were my way of protecting you. Stop grieving over what didn't return. If it hasn't come back, it's because it wasn't part of the greater plan I am building with you. Today, right now, is a divine appointment. You didn't get here by accident. My spirit brought you here because before the sun rose, I decided it was time to speak to you. And when I speak, it's because something is about to break, something is being released, and something is being restored. So listen closely, and don't let this message pass you by. This is not just another word, it's a calling. It's an announcement from heaven. It's my voice knocking on the door of your heart, because there's still so much more I want to do with you. There are promises that haven't been fulfilled, visions not yet seen, and words not yet made real, and all of them will come to pass, not by your strength, but by my faithfulness. But I need you to hear me now, not tomorrow, today, because time is moving fast. The opportunities you've been waiting for are close, but if you don't understand what I'm doing right now, you might miss the door I've opened for you. So stay with me. Listen carefully until the end, because this is not just another word, it's a turning point. What is starting now isn't just a change, but a transformation. It's the start of a new journey that will bring you a freedom you've never known before. My beloved, Listen closely, for the words I speak to you now are filled with deep love and eternal meaning. These are not random thoughts, but the very essence of my heart, overflowing with care and truth. It is time for you to understand what you have long overlooked, not because of rebellion, but because of pain, distractions, and wounds that have yet to heal. Today, I come to lift that veil, to reach the deepest parts of your soul, those parts you've kept hidden, even from yourself. Do not be afraid. I am not here to condemn you, but to heal you. My heart has never been to crush you under the weight of your weaknesses, but to lift you through the strength of my love. Stay connected to these words and share them with those who need to hear it, for what I reveal to you today goes beyond your own journey. It will bring clarity and peace to your life and will flow like a river, reaching others who have been walking in darkness. You are a bearer of hope, not because of your own strength, but because my mercy has touched you. I have chosen you to be a vessel of comfort, to reflect my light in places where others see only darkness. I know you completely, my beloved, and I call you my treasure, for you are to me a hidden gem, made with purpose, with eternal worth. I see the quiet weariness in your mind when the world is at rest. I know how your thoughts race even when the lights go out. I hear the questions from the past, the doubts about the future, and the uncertainties in the present. I am aware of the worries you carry in silence, even when no one else notices. You have learned to smile through your fears, to appear strong for others, even when you feel fragile inside. But none of this has escaped my notice. Every act of yours, no matter how small or unnoticed it seemed, has been recorded in my book. I see the peace you choose to keep for the sake of others, the calm you create so no one else worries. I know the sacrifices you make, the moments you give up so others can have peace, so you won't be a burden. But remember, I am your rest. I am your peace. When the noise of life becomes too much, when everything feels heavy and confusing, come to me. You don't need to find the perfect words. Sometimes your silence speaks to me more than 1,000 prayers. Simply, being in my presence is enough, for it is there that I renew you. Soon, your circumstances will change. I declare it now, so you will know it was not by chance. I am working behind the scenes, speeding up processes that once seemed stuck. I have guided you away from paths that looked promising, leading you to what truly lasts. And though you may not have understood at the time, I am now making it clear what you thought was a loss was actually my careful protection. I closed doors that were not in your best interest. I allowed people to leave who would have brought confusion into your life. It was not to hurt you, but to protect you, because my love for you is deeper than you can understand, and my love will always care for your destiny. Think back to moments when you felt something guiding you away from something or pushing you toward a choice you didn't fully understand. Maybe you thought it was just a gut feeling, luck, or coincidence, but it wasn't. It was my quiet guidance, even when you didn't notice it. It was I who stopped you when you wanted to move forward and opened doors where you saw only walls. I see the end from the beginning, and I will not let anything stand in the way of the beautiful plan I have for your life. What I am telling you now is a deep truth of protection. I am covering you with a shield of safety, a protection that no enemy can break. Do not fear what is ahead. Do not worry about your health or the struggles others are facing. I know that in your heart you carry the pain of those you love, that you feel the weight of their sickness, their troubles, and their storms. But I am God not just over your life, but over every one of those situations. I am quietly working in ways you cannot always see. Your job now is to stay, to listen to me, to trust. Do not act out of fear or rush into decisions, but wait for my Spirit to guide you, because I am putting everything in place, even things that seem out of control. Nothing is beyond my control, and what feels like a long, dark night will soon be a bright morning. I have been working in your life with care far beyond your understanding. Every detail, every experience, even the ones that seem meaningless, are part of a purpose with my eternal mark on it. Not one moment was random, and not a single tear was wasted. Every step you took, even those made in confusion or fear, was guided by an invisible hand that never let you go. Even though you didn't see it at the time, I had already created paths where you thought there were only walls. My thoughts are not like yours, and my ways are not like yours. The time you spent waiting was not a punishment, that was preparation. It was shaping. In the silence you felt, I was working on your character, purifying your intentions, and sharpening your ability to see things clearly. The patience you were forced to learn has now become a strong foundation on which I will build something that will last. And though you wanted the answers to come quickly, it was in that waiting time that parts of you grew that couldn't have developed if things had moved faster or been given to you too easily. What seemed like my absence was actually my presence, working deep inside you. Many of the things you went through were not because you were weak, but because you were called. The spiritual battles, the rejection, the confusion, the closed doors, and the seasons of being alone were all signs that you were being set apart for a greater purpose. Others didn't go through what you did because they weren't entrusted with the same. What was taken from you was my way of clearing out the temporary so that I could fill you with the eternal. And even in the moments when you doubted whether I was really there, I want you to know that those were the very moments you were marked by my choice. You have not been forgotten. The good you did when no one was watching has not been overlooked. The sacrifices you made in secret, and the times you chose what was right even when it meant losing, staying quiet, or being unseen, none of that has been ignored. Each of those decisions was a seed planted in good soil, and now that seed has grown. The fruit of that work is about to be shown, not in your timing, but according to my perfect plan. I know that the situation around you may feel uncertain, and the struggles of everyday life are pressing in. There are still questions that have no answers, but I did not call you to walk by what you can see. I called you to walk by the faith that I am faithful. Even when nothing around you seems to change, my word remains. I have sworn by my own name that I will never fail to do what I have promised. What I have declared over your life will not return empty, even if your circumstances say otherwise. My word will overcome everything that is seen. You have been protected in ways others have not. Even when you didn't understand why, I kept you going with strength that came from me. Think about all the things that could have destroyed you and didn't. It was not luck, it was my covering, my direct intervention in your life. There are battles you never had to fight because I fought them for you, where you couldn't see. There are attacks that were stopped before they ever reached you, and I will keep doing this because you are part of a plan that cannot be defeated. Stay in the place I have called you to be. Even when you don't fully understand why, your obedience opens doors that logic cannot explain. Blessings are being poured out, not just for you, but for the generations that will come after you. When someone stays faithful, blessings flow like a river. Through your perseverance, I am touching lives you don't even know about. And even those who have resisted everything you stand for will see the proof of what I am doing in your life. I understand the inner battles you face, the mind that grows tired of fighting, the heart that wonders if relief will ever come. I promise you, things will not stay the same. I am charting a new path. The darkness that you thought would last forever is starting to fade. I am firmly closing certain doors. Some things will never repeat, and some enemies will no longer have the power to hurt you. I have spoken, and my word will not be stopped by human power or opposition. I have led you away from paths that would have led you astray, doing so with both firmness and care. When I denied you what you wanted, I did it knowing what you could not yet see. When I allowed you to experience loss, it was because I was preparing something greater for you. The choices you didn't understand at the time were my protection in disguise. The silence you felt was indifference was actually my voice working without words, setting everything up for this moment. Nothing have been lost. Even what you thought was wasted, I will redeem. I will turn every wound into a story of healing, every loss into a seed of honor, every painful night into a testimony of restoration. There will be no emptiness without purpose. What you see as broken now will become the foundation I will use to build something that brings glory to my name. I do not work with the rush of human time, but with divine precision. And when I restore, I do it in abundance, not only bringing back what was taken, but multiplying what you never thought was possible. Nothing you've been through has been overlooked. From the most obvious to the most hidden parts of your journey, I have been with you every step. I know the difficult places you've walked within yourself, the dry lands where you felt nothing could grow, and the valleys where discouragement felt like the only companion. I was there, not just watching, but actively working in the background, building spiritual foundations while you thought everything was falling apart. I have been working deep within your identity, not to shape you according to what others expect, but to reveal to you who you truly are in me. Your worth is not defined by what others think or by what you've accomplished. I do not measure success with human standards. What others have overlooked, I have seen as pure gold. There is greatness inside you that hasn't yet fully come to the surface, but it is there, held by my spirit, waiting for the right time to be revealed. I have started shifting the circumstances around you. Unexpected changes, conversations that seemed simple but were key moments, decisions you didn't realize were so important. None of these things have been unimportant. Every change has been guided by my hand. You are being repositioned. What once controlled you no longer has the power to define who you are, for I am taking your life in a direction that doesn't depend on the systems of the world, but on my eternal plan. Some people have stepped away from your life without explanation. Some relationships have cooled, and others have simply ended without any conflict or closure. Do not worry about this. What has quietly been removed had to leave so you could move forward without carrying extra weight. I have taken away influences around you that were slowly weakening you, choices you wouldn't have made on your own, but decisions I made for you. Sometimes my care is shown through separations you don't immediately understand. In time, you'll realize that these losses help preserve your focus, your integrity, and your peace. Small signs are starting to appear, announcing a bigger change ahead. You may not see it clearly yet, but a new direction is forming. I am speaking through the little details. You don't need a grand explanation, just a heart that is open and ready. The things that once seemed disconnected I am bringing together with perfect timing. A network of divine connections is being built around you, people, places, and opportunities. Everything is being aligned, and the next step will be clear. You don't have to prove your value or defend what you have planted. I am the one who will bear witness. The times you spent in silence and out of the spotlight were not wasted. They were the foundation of your faithfulness. Now, As you enter this new phase, you won't be sustained by human effort or by outside recognition. What will carry you through your journey is my unshakable word and my constant presence, for what is built in secret will endure when everything else fades away. Do not be afraid if your abilities seem small compared to what I have in store for you. I do not choose based on skill alone, but on willingness, and you have been willing, even when you didn't fully understand the process. That is what touches my heart. This is why I am now expanding your life, not only in outward ways but inwardly as well. I am teaching you to think from heaven's perspective, not earth's, to understand the natural world through a spiritual lens, to recognize the movement of my kingdom even in times that seem chaotic. What is coming is not just an upgrade of what you've known, it is a whole new way of being. This is not about remaking the past, but about stepping into something completely new. To do this, you must let go of what you still carry out of habit, leaving behind the old ways of thinking that were shaped by times of emotional or spiritual lack. You cannot bring a mindset of survival into a season of abundance. I am teaching you how to handle abundance with wisdom and humility. And don't think this new season will come without its challenges. Growth always comes with pressure, but you are not without protection. You will carry a strength that is not based on your own endurance, but on the power of my Spirit within you. You will speak with authority without raising your voice, influence without force, and progress without wearing yourself out, because what I am doing in your life will not be like before. In this season, you will not walk alone, nor will you do it by your own strength. I am surrounding you with divine support. Even when it seems like few understand, I will raise up help from places you never expected. I will surround you with people who will see what I have placed in you not by outward appearance, but through spiritual discernment. These will be people who will walk with you, not compete with you. They won't need anything from you, but will be joined to your purpose because I have brought them together with you. What I have started in you, I will finish, and nothing, neither human nor spiritual opposition, will stop it. His path will not be easy, but it will be true. And in truth, there is freedom, purpose, and fulfillment. Keep your heart open, not out of fear, but out of love, because I am not pushing you toward an uncertain future. Instead, I am gently guiding you toward a life I have planned for you since before you took your first breath. There are things you didn't understand when they happened, and even now, they remain as unanswered questions within you. You don't need to have all the answers to move forward. Sometimes, wisdom is not in knowing why things happened, but in trusting that I never stopped holding you through every moment. What seemed like a lost or interrupted path was actually a divinely directed detour. That unexpected turn, that moment when everything seemed to fall apart, was also the exact moment I began to build something greater inside of you. My way of working doesn't always match human understanding. I don't follow the order you expect, nor do I work by the timelines set by people. What I am doing in your life can't be explained by logic because it doesn't come from a human system. It's supernatural and eternal. That's why sometimes you felt out of place or misunderstood, like you didn't quite fit in certain spaces. This hasn't been a mistake. It is the result of my seal upon you. I've marked your spirit, setting you apart not to make you better than others, but to consecrate you to what is true. Many have looked at you and failed to see what you truly carry. They've judged you from the outside without understanding the battles you fought in silence. But I have looked deeper. I've seen the intention behind your steps that went unnoticed. I saw how you forgave when the wound still hurt, how you stayed silent to protect others, how you waited instead of pushing, how you kept giving when it would have been easier to close your heart. Every one of these decisions hath been an investment in an eternal account. Nothing you've done hath been wasted. Every act is recorded, and the time will come when all of it will become a tangible answer. I am making straight what seemed crooked, but not from the outside, from deep within who you are. I'm changing the way you see things, the way you make decisions, the way you dream. It's no longer about achieving your goals through your own strength, but about aligning every step with a larger plan. When you follow my direction, weariness fades and peace settles even in the midst of work. It's not the lack of struggle that will define this time, but the certainty that I'm with you in every step, guiding, providing, protecting. You don't need to compare yourself to others. The pace you're moving at has been perfectly designed for you. You are not behind, nor are you out of place. What looks like a delay is actually the exact amount of time needed for what I'm shaping in you to fully develop. You're not losing time. You are being strengthened in ways that will soon be tested and revealed with glory. When the time comes to show what I have planted inside of you, it will be clear that it was not human influence or strategy that raised you, but my sovereign will. Do not ignore the deep stirring within you, that sense that something new is on the way. This is not just an emotional feeling. It is my spirit awakening something that has been dormant for seasons. I am reigniting parts of you that were closed off by pain, disappointment, and fear. I am restoring the passions that once burned brightly, reigniting the dreams you thought were lost, and bringing back the language of faith that weariness had stolen. What is ahead of you will require a heart that is renewed, free from bitterness, open enough to trust and believe again. Everything you've sown in tears will soon be reaped in joy. And not only will you see the fruit within yourself, but others will also drink from the wine produced through your brokenness. I have not allowed you to face these trials just for your own sake. I am shaping you into a vessel to carry comfort, guidance, and truth for others. You will carry these with humility, because you will know that it was not your strength that sustained you, but my mercy. My son, I know the pain you've carried in silence, the exhaustion that has rooted deep in your spirit. This weariness goes beyond the physical. It's a tiredness no amount of rest can heal. I see it in the quiet moments, when the world falls silent, when the lights fade, and you're left alone with your thoughts. It is in these moments that I am closest to you, even if you can't feel it. I hear every sigh, even those you haven't dared to speak in prayer. I have felt every tear that has fallen in the darkness, the tears that no one else sees, yet they are precious to me. They spring from a heart that continues to seek and hope, even in the midst of doubt and pain. This moment in your life is not by chance. The stillness that surrounds you now is not an empty pause, but a sacred space that I have intentionally created to speak to you. This moment hath been set apart for an eternal purpose. Now is the time for you to listen, to open your heart to what I have to say, because a cycle is ending and a new chapter is about to begin. What you have gone through, what you have faced in silence, has not been wasted. All of it has a purpose, and I am preparing you for what lies ahead. The challenges and trials you've endured have been shaping you into who you are meant to be. You may not see it clearly now, but trust that I am at work in your life. I am turning every setback into a stepping stone, every tear into a testimony. The pain, the waiting, the seasons of uncertainty, all of it has been used by my hand to prepare you for the greater things I have in store. You are not just being prepared for yourself, but for a purpose that will touch many lives. It may feel like the work is not yet finished, but I am aligning everything according to my perfect timing. You will soon see the fruit of your perseverance, and it will be more than you could have imagined. So, do not be discouraged by what you see right now. Trust in my plan, for it is being worked out with eternal purpose. Keep your heart open, for the next season is coming, and it will be one of new beginnings, renewal, and the fulfillment of promises long awaited.